That's it. I'm done with this toy box. I'm going to a different one. Why don't we go check out World of Walkways, a toy box that contains floating islands, walking paths, and bridges. Let's do it.
Okay, now tell me you're ready for some fun, because we are gonna rock this place.
I'm sure we are, Syndrome. Look at this place. We got a whole bunch of just floating islands and plenty of places just put random stuff. I believe in the Nintendo Wii version, this world is used for the combat toy box in that, where you can place enemies and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure players of that version might be familiar with this world right here. And thankfully, there are plenty of places that you can expand upon. Like right here is like the perfect room for expansion. If you want to make a huge world of walkways that's even larger than this, which, okay, isn't that big. But right here and also right here, you can expand a lot. Let's see, we probably have the pieces we need to expand upon it. Like this and this, the floating bridge hill. I don't know, I kind of like this. We also have the small bridge cliff that we can also use. And even a curved floating bridge. Is that used at all here? Yes, it is. It's used over here. Cool. So we could use this like right here. And even some winding floating bridges. Are those used at all? I don't think they are, actually. Cool. So we can use this for a change. Isn't that interesting? And yeah, it fits right there. Looks, well, actually, we probably should move it at least a little bit. Does that look better? I'd say it does. You can even have one that winds in the opposite direction. That just looks awkward, but whatever. We also have plenty of slopes to work with. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we could place flat ground right there. We have a rope cliff, which, yeah, you can actually have the rope go through if you want. Isn't that interesting? Okay, if I make a world from scratch, I have to remind myself to use the floating rope cliff, because you can probably use that alongside this one, or not that one. The small floating cliff? Yes. This to make some pretty cool floating islands out here. There's gotta be like there's gotta be a piece we can use if we want to like make a super long one, because this probably ain't gonna cut it. Yeah, probably not, because it's too flat on the sides. What if we use, do we even have it? I don't know if we do, actually. Uh-oh. See, this is why I'm not going to make whatever I want right now, because... Uh-oh. Because we don't have all of the terrain pieces, do we? No, we don't. We don't have that. There's the piece I'm talking about. The last one right there. That's the one I really want here. There's also some canyon stuff. Some more cave stuff. It's still some castle packs that I'm missing. How are there 10 castle packs? That is crazy. And 12 terrain block packs. Wow. They really just give you whatever to customize your toy box world with. Which is a good thing. You know, because we got the rope. Can make a floating island up here if we want. Isn't that cool? But that's for later. For now, I don't even know what to do here. We could check out more terrain and sky stuff. More, you know, plenty more ways to texture toy box worlds. Like okay. So the order that you place down the terrain and sky power disc actually determines which is loaded in first. If you place the sky power disc below the terrain one, the sky will load in first. But if you put the sky one on top of the terrain one, if you have the terrain disc below, it will put this permission screen up first and then load the sky. Yes. Alright. So we put down Tolgi World and Alice's Wonderland. This is the Alice in Wonderland theme for this game. So yeah, isn't that interesting? We got green sides for the terrain. That's pretty wacky. And check out the sky. It's pretty cool. Got plenty of trees. And we got letters coming out of that one caterpillar character. I forgot his name. There's the Cheshire Cat over there. He'll show up sometimes. But yeah, I guess, you know, he's something to look out for. And also, if you have the music on, I believe the music that'll play is pretty much a medley of a whole bunch of like songs that are played usually, or that are all played at like the very end of the film, including the Merry Unbirthday song. So that's pretty cool. And if you look below, you'll see a giant hedge maze. That's pretty cool. I wonder if you could tell exactly like where it loops or something. Or did someone have to actually design that big of a hedge maze? I always find it weird that like the voice of your character friggin' distorts if you're falling. That's really, really odd. But anyways, yeah, look at that. Look at all that maze. Actually, yeah, I think there is a point where it does loop. Okay. Yeah, because I'm noticing some of the patterns are the same. Alright, that makes sense. There's also a chest over there. For Wreck-It Ralph, of course. Alright, I don't even know what I can do right now. Because, what feats are there to do? Use your ground vehicle to jump over 100 objects. We could probably just meander on into the vault once again just to get more toys, because I don't know what else to do anymore. Yeah, you can tell I didn't really plan this whole toy box portion of the playthrough that well. We got the team toy pack, by the way, which lets you split stuff into 2 different teams, whether it be players, enemies, and even townspeople. Anyways, we got Castle Set Pack 3. Alright, we got the Scottish Stone Circle, the mysterious stone circle from Brave. Alright, Blocks Pack 4. A Gaston costume, a toy in a Gaston costume from Beauty and the Beast. We also got castle brick for the blocks. Alright, castle set pack 6. Alright, Agrippa Palace pack 1. This toy box contains new Agrippa Palace set pieces for your toy box. Alright, Tiki Monument pack 1. We also got Frozen texture for the toy box blocks. We can have ice blocks if we want. Alright, Racing Gate. Place this racing gate on a completed track loop to create a racing event. Cool. Alright, the Matterhorn, Disneyland's Matterhorn bobsleds attraction. It's pretty interesting because, one, you can actually texture it. It has terrain textures, but also, two, I believe you can actually connect rails to it to expand the attraction. Because it's on rails, actually. That's how you write it. Alright, Peter Pan Townsperson Pack. This toy pack contains new townspeople for your toy box. Alright, Terrain Block Pack 8. This toy pack contains new terrain pieces for your toy box. Alright, Glass Block Pack. This toy pack contains new block pieces for your toy box. Alright, ESPN Deco Pack 2. Alright, Home Decoration Pack. We can put couches in the toy box now if we want. Alright, Mountain Tunnel. A section of terrain with a tunnel that winds through a mountain. Nice. Okay, this is what I meant before. Pretty much by the end of things, if you're running out of stuff to unlock in the Disney Infinity Vault, it will pretty much just have the pretty much fill in the rest of it with bonuses you have yet to unlock. Isn't that interesting? We're almost done with the Disney Infinity Vault already. That was quick. Alright. And it is shorter than I thought. Maybe I should have done it all at once. That would have been interesting. Alright, Stitched, a premium upgrade for the appearance of the toy box blocks. So yeah, ain't that interesting. Alright, Rail Slide Bends pack. Alright, the Identity Disc. Ensure your safety in the world of Tron. Now, this is a very interesting object because it is a pack that you wear. And it is the only pack you can unlock through the Disney Infinity Vault. In fact, there's no tools you can unlock through the Toy Vault. It's just this one pack. Fun fact, the Identity Disc was actually added to this game via a patch. I believe released in November of 2013. There was a patch release that added this Identity Disc to the game. Which means, I believe, if you had already gotten all of the stuff in the Disney Infinity Vault before, it would add this to it. So that it would probably have one slot, if I were to guess. So yeah, pretty interesting. That also means that it is not in the Wii version because it was added after launch. And the Wii version, of course, did not support patches because of how the system is. Yeah, the Nintendo Wii in general does not support software patches. Anyways, Metal 2. Alright, Rope Bridge Pack. Cool. Alright, Breakable Pack 2. We can now have a box of fireworks that we can, bash into. Stunt Wood. Pretty much the kind of wood used for all of the action toys. Which is interesting. So now we can use them on blocks to have them, kind of blend in. Wood 1. Trying to get that one last bonus from the, I believe that's the flat terrain blocks pack. Anyways, Terrain Cave Pack 2. We now have a well that can lead into a cave. Alright, Pinocchio Townsperson Pack. I believe that contains Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket. Alright, Merlin costume. A toy in a Merlin costume from the Sword and the Stone. Yeah, no King Arthur townsperson, oddly enough. Just Merlin. Alright, there we go. Terrain block pack 3. We also get carpet. So now we have that. What's left? Oh, that's it. What's Concrete 2 doing here? What's Concrete 2 doing there? Also, we only have 3 more bonuses to unlock. That's interesting. Okay, it doesn't shuffle to that weird Concrete 2 down there. Anyways, Concrete 2. And now we only have 5 things left in the Disney Infinity Vault. Wow. Sports fan! With these surfaces and objects, your toy box would become the ideal playing field for any sport. So yeah, that's actually a terrain texture. Alright. Track splits pack. Now you can actually split a racetrack to go down multiple different paths. Retro video game level. Give your toy box a classic video game look with these 8-bit objects and surfaces. So yeah, that goes alongside the retro video game Sky that we unlocked before, which we'll probably look at very shortly. Agrabah Palace Pack 3. This toy pack contains new Agrabah Palace set pieces for your toy box. Alright, and only one more. Alright, Canyon Block Pack. This toy pack contains new terrain pieces for your toy box. No items available. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with the Disney Infinity Vault. Wow. With only 19 spins left, we got everything you could possibly get in the Disney Infinity Vault. That's crazy, you know? Because there's so much in there, and yet we got all of it. Alright. I kind of want to see the grid to see just how many toys we have now. Holy crap, look at all these. Yeah, we have all these townspeople. Well, there's less Disney Infinity Vault townspeople than I initially expected. Because, yeah, there's just that many. Not a bad selection, though, I will say. But yeah, I kind of prefer just how many they added in later Disney Infinity games. Because, let's see. I don't think we unlocked any new action toys, did we? No. I know we did unlock some new terrain pieces, though. Okay, never mind. It just... Okay, maybe... Apparently, the editor does not, you know, add these toys until they're shown below. Interesting, so we gotta wait for that. Okay, now it will show everything, because it just downloaded in the Merlin costume. I think. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm just, maybe I was just looking at things wrong. Yeah. But, there's only a couple more toys that we need to unlock for the toy box mode. And then we'll get to build whatever we want. And of course, get the couple of feats that we have left done before then. Or after, who knows. Got all these decorations. Wow. Alright, so yeah, oh, not feet. If we go into, here we go, the collection. Yeah, look at that. We have this entire page of all the toy packs. We still have this right here, along with, yeah, I believe the rest of these are unlocked through the character chests for the toy box only characters. So, yeah. We'll probably go through all those eventually, but for now, because most of what it unlocks are townspeople, but it also unlocks some cool stuff like certain buildings and such. But yeah. So if we go into the terrain menu. Yeah, we have retro video game level, which has that, pretty much. A more pixelated ground that has the Disney Infinity logo there. We also have Sports Fan, which is pretty cool. In case you want to change your grassy areas with turf. Cool. Let's see. Alright. So I think I said before that all of these textures are actually laid out in alphabetical order of their franchise. Well, kind of. Some of the ones that don't have franchise have certain labels, like the retro video game level is always the first in the like texture selection because I believe it is labeled as under the quote 8-bit franchise, so that's probably why, because it starts with its quote unquote franchise starts with a number. But yeah, you have Alice in Wonderland, Cars. I think this is just under like Disney. I think it's the franchise under. Yeah, because Incredibles is up next. Then Lone Ranger, Monsters University, Pirates, Sports. I think that's what this is under. Also, one thing to note, the Sports Fan texture, or terrain texture, does not have its own plants. It does have its own track pieces, though, which I will probably show right now. Here we go, track pieces. Alright, so with a racetrack. So yeah, this is one for retro video game level, pretty interesting. And this is one for ESPN Sports. Wait, it's pretty much like a track, you know, that you run on. So yeah, it's pretty. It'll be, you know, pretty cool to put it like in a stadium or something. You know, have a Disney Infinity track meet if you want. Pretty cool. But yeah, the default is slot car. You have this one for Pirates, Monsters University, Lone Ranger, The Incredibles. I think I showed before Basic and Disney Castle. And this is the one for the Alice's Wonderland texture. So yeah, pretty cool. We probably won't have a racetrack in this Toy Box world. I don't know what I'll put in this one, honestly. Like I said, I think now it's time that we actually get to building stuff, you know? Of actually making worlds. But yeah, I really don't know what to do with the walkways. Like, what could we possibly do with this? Make probably make a game out of it or something. Or make it like a dungeon crawler. You know, we could probably take advantage of the bird's eye camera and do something with that. Ooh, that would be interesting. By the way, the bird's eye camera, if you connect a Creativity toy to it, you can start it. By the way, properties. You could have it be either a stationary camera to where it'll just start at its initial location and not move from there, which can be pretty useful. Or you could have it to follow the character. Yeah, we'll have it start. Alright, and yeah, press the select button to exit this camera mode. So yeah, you now have a overhead camera. That's pretty cool. So that's probably what we could have this as, like a dungeon crawler or something. Even though probably not one that's this close to the character. By the way, you cannot adjust the camera using the right stick. I think in later games you can actually click the right analog stick in order to like zoom in and out the camera. Kind of like how you can in the editor in this game. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, entering the editor will pretty much exit you out of the camera. What happens if we raise it a little, though? Will that zoom out the camera for us? Yes, it will. Okay. This is way better. Because, yeah, look at this. It might be zoomed out a little too much, but... Okay. The camera also, I guess, goes in weird angles whenever you use the jetpack of all things. Okay. Weird. Huh. Anyways. Yeah, this might be a little too zoomed out, but we could probably zoom back in a little later. But yeah, that also means that with the side camera, you can make side scrollers in this game if you want. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this gives you so many opportunities to make random dungeon crawlers or whatever. So you could go around, defeat enemies, and get loot. Although I don't know what loot there is. We could also check which character chest this is. Oh, it's the one for Phineas. Okay. We'll probably finish it. I'm not sure when. But yeah, maybe, you know, you could have enemy generators around. Whoops. And have it to where if you defeat all the enemies and rescue the princess or something, which I believe, yeah, you go into properties. With the safety dome, you can actually have tools in here so that you could break it to get some tools if you want. Even though I don't think there's a way you could disable the tools and packs menu in the toy box, which is really odd. Later games would let you do it, but not 1.0 edition. But yeah, the Sorcerer's Print is a Mickey costume. Kermit. You can rescue Kermit. And I believe... okay. Started and destroyed. So I believe you actually have to connect a Creativa toy to it in order to, quote, start the dome, whatever that means. There's also the light, by the way. Put the light down, and yeah, you can light whatever. Of course, you could probably put this on like ceilings, like pretty much blocks. And I think you could also turn on and off. Yep. So yeah, pretty cool. Not sure what use that could bring, but I'm sure someone's figured out something cool for it. Like, it probably connected to a power switch. That would be cool. There is the object generator, though. Spawn. Okay, you still have to connect it to a Creativa toy. Magic Wand, Buzz Lightyear's jetpack, pirate bombs. Okay, so I don't think it's every single tool and pack in the game, but it's a handful of them. Let's put the paintball gun. Let's see. We press it. Get it? Yeah, it just selects it for us. We can still access the tools and packs menu all we want. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I guess just as like a suggestion of, hey, here's the tool you probably should use for this adventure. By the way, the identity disc. You could throw a Tron disc. For some reason, though, Syndrome's cape still shows up whenever you use his pack, unlike most packs in the game. Yeah. I think for probably all of them, right?
I hope people know I'm not like him. I'm a totally different Syndrome.
Nope, the backpack is the same case. along with the TNT pack, which this one works a bit better. Okay, so it's not every pack that disables Syndrome's cape, but this one doesn't look that great with the cape on. Okay. I wonder if it's the same case for other characters that have their back accessory removed with certain packs, like Buzz Lightyear. We'll probably find that out later. If we ever play as Buzz Lightyear. I'm pretty sure we will. Got an Elsa character chest. And yeah, I believe if it doesn't really run into anything, it'll come back to you. Like a boomerang. And I believe, can you aim with it? Yes, you can, technically. You can throw it in whatever direction you want. Alright, anyways. Should we even save this toy box world? We didn't really do much in it. Probably not. But yeah, we're getting ever so closer to getting everything for this game, which, God, that was quick. But I guess it gives me more time to play as other characters while creating the worlds that I really want to.